Hey guys, so I'm recording on my iPad, so the mic may not be as good here, but it's what's available right at this moment. And I'm just gonna talk for, I don't know, until it blanks out or whatever. Um, I just want to say, I've really been wondering what my role here in the world is because, you know, everywhere I look, nothing makes any sense to me. I mean, it's not, I guess I could be insane or something, but I don't think I am, and it's just that I just look at things in the news and I watch things that people do, and even after like 4 decades, it still basically makes very little sense to me, and it's just like I can figure some things out better now, but and it just starts to come to wonder because I've basically concluded that I would never get a job because I want you need money to support yourself, they say. And Spirit doesn't want me to get a job because she says that all they'll do, that she just says that I'll just get abused, basically, and my experience has basically confirmed that. And when I've watched other young men who had some streak of independence and some, idea of excellence try to do something, they were abused. They were abused until they eventually quit their job or were fired. And you would see that come home every day, these people who would go out of their way to help people, and they would come back more and more and more and more dispirited because they were surrounded by gadflies who couldn't stand them. Make them do all the work and then give them bad reports or say things like, boy, this is a lot of stuff here to shelve, I'll just let Ace do it. And then all three of them will stand around jawing while Ace does all the work. And for some reason, other people can tolerate that. If that was me, I would destroy the whole store, and I wouldn't do it any way that broke the law. I would just make it, I would just turn around and destroy everyone. I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying that that's what they're trying to do to me, so, they started the game and now we're playing, okay? And other people just accept it, and I'm never going to accept it because accepting it is part of the problem. You see, I'm not going to accept it. We spent, my mother and I, we spent 5 days being jerked around by a con artist who kept insisting that this was a legitimate job, and it appeared legitimate. You went to the websites, there were newspaper articles about it and all sorts of things, and then finally, after 5 days, they sent us a cashier's check for $3,100 we're supposed to use on materials. With this instruction letter full of misspellings, and it's all made out from a construction company when this is supposed to be a radiology firm. So we threw that out. And that was 5 days of being dicked around and doing online interviews and shit. It's like, right. And now today, my mom got all dressed up in these donated clothes from Dress for Success, and she turns to me and says, how do I look? And I've just never seen anything look more unnatural than a 76-year-old woman dressed in this suit trying to look 3 times younger with missing teeth and everything, It's like, oh, you look great. No, you're only 73 years old. You should be out there... Yeah, just digging in the dirt with the rest of them because your son is unhireable and can't manage to fit anywhere in society, and he hates society, and society hates him. So... And, I say these things, but, I can back them up. I mean, I'm too intelligent to work a minimum wage job, folks. I'll just go out of my mind, okay? And I've tried to get into philosophy, and they wouldn't let me into philosophy because the professors didn't like the things I philosophized. They didn't give any reasons for it, which is what the point of philosophy is. They just didn't like them. I didn't get a single recommendation when I left my school, and I was the only activist in the school, as far as I could tell. I mean, other people, I was always there, but this is unfair, and they want to know, oh, no, you're supposed to say things out there are unfair. Nothing in here is unfair. I said, but it is patently unfair. And, it was just the most amazing thing. I mean, the more you spoke the truth, the less they had to say, and the more they heard you. And that's just supposed to be a fact of life, which is why, when they tell you that, I always wondered, why aren't you supposed to be out there killing people? I mean, I'm just serious. I mean, I'm not, Camus talked about why shouldn't you commit suicide. Every day, he said, you should ask yourself, why shouldn't you commit suicide? And he said that because... when you're asking yourself that question, that's when you're truly confronting the absurd nature of your life, okay? Like, what is my life really worth to me? What is my life actually, is it fulfilling me? Am I doing anything with it? What is my reason not to just kill myself today? And he said that asking that question was imperative because if you didn't ask that question, one day you just threw yourself out of a window and never even knew why or what you were doing. Because he said he'd seen that. And he lived through World War II in occupied France. So, he also talked about, like, I rebel, therefore we exist. So I've sort of come to this new formulation. I start asking myself, why should they exist? You see, because all my life, I have tried to apply myself by these standards, and every time I turned around, I was told that the standards weren't really the game. Well, if they're not really the game, then why shouldn't I be killing everyone? I mean, you see, I just don't get it. If there's no value, and the rules don't really mean anything, and it's all just about flouting the rules and being evil to get your way, then how can you say I can't kill anyone? I mean, you see, it's just so weird, okay? It's like I look out there, I read all this shit in the news, I get mistreated by all these people, my mom's out there trying to be a slave again, and it's all like, I just can't stand it. It's like, what the fuck is going on with this shit, alright? I mean, it's gotten to the point where I'm beginning to wonder if I don't go on a killing spree, am I a coward? Because, I mean, what am I saying just standing here in this room every day? What is that saying? It's saying, well, he sits in that room every day because that's how we'll let him live. And then we'll say it's really his fault for not conforming to what we say he should do, even though he did all the things we said he should do, and we hated him for it. But that's not okay, because that wasn't really the point of the game anyway. But don't kill anyone, even though we're killing people all the time. That's why we had these police racial motivated shootings, and Trump is essentially killing people without any accountability. We're having ex-85, 89-year-old presidents being accused of sexual assault while Trump isn't accused of anything because I guess he's powerful. And if he's powerful and that's the name of the game, then I guess, I could just go out there and start being powerful, right? I mean, wouldn't that be a fair exchange for 40 years of wasted time trying to interact with you your selfish, spoiled children? Maybe I should get some payback and just go out there and, thin the herd, reap a little, have a few moments of feelings of power myself, that every one of you had a little microtransaction. We'll have a little feeling of power over him, we'll have a little feeling of power over him, we'll have a little feeling of power over him. We'll tell him that he has to be this, we'll tell him he has to be that, and then when he refuses, we'll tell him that he's immoral. Well, isn't that really nice for you guys, okay? I mean, it sounds like you have it all thought out, okay? You don't care if I live or die. You don't care if 50 of you live or die. You don't care if 500 of you live or die. You don't care if 1,000 of you live or die. You don't care if 10,000 of you live or die. You don't care if 1,000,000 of you live or die. Long as there's enough to keep the illusion going, you can kill as many people as you want. So how can you claim that you're moral? How do you claim that you're moral? How do you claim that you're moral? I mean, moral to what? Moral to whatever makes you the most money? Well, you see, that's really capricious. That means you're not moral to anything, okay? Because you couldn't be. And what's more is essentially money won't mean anything anyway, because nothing means anything. So then why shouldn't I be killing people? How can you say, don't kill people when that's all you do? Okay, like my mom out there who doesn't have the money to get, they give you dress for success. They put you up in clothes, but they don't give you money for a haircut. A haircut can cost $30. So that doesn't make sense. You see, it's like, they say they're helping people, but they don't have a clue what to do to help people. It's like a doctor opening your chest to give you surgery, not knowing what a heart is, or forgetting that there's a spleen or something. Okay, oh, look, we're giving you these clothes, but whoa, we never noticed that your hair is over your eyes and going down the back of your spine or something, because we don't cover haircuts. And it's just like they're all out there making their money, doing one little thing, and then they're mostly women telling themselves, oh, I feel so good because my job contributes to the betterment of society, while they always in some way look down on those they're helping. I've always noticed that about women. I've never seen a woman who really helped anyone. They're always doing it to get their pussies off. Even if it's not immediately, they're doing it because they want to contribute, like the woman who goes off to Siberia to teach school children for the rest of her life when she's 21. Aww. And they'll all love that, but me here talking about the truth as I see it, but no one ever dialogues about it. No one ever has a counter-argument toward it, because they all know it's not really true. Meanwhile, global warming doesn't exist, and, when you pour radioactive waste into a river, it doesn't really affect anything, and they just believe all sorts of childish things. Right? Our president is selling us this stuff, but I shouldn't go out there and kill people because that's wrong, right? But what's happening to me right now?